So we are here at PATH, and I wanted to introduce you to Katie.
Hi.
Katie, so what's your involvement here at PATH?
So I work in development and fundraising, which is basically public engagement and coordinating events and doing different kinds of fundraising initiatives and getting the community involved with PATH. So PATH was established in 1984 with the mission to break the cycle of homelessness by equipping people with the tools they need to attain self-sufficiency. And this is our regional homeless center. So I'm going to give you guys a tour of the regional homeless center and explain it all. So.
As we go. All right, let's do it. So we are here at PATH, and I wanted to introduce you to Katie.
Hi.
Katie, so what's your involvement here at PATH?
So I work in development and fundraising, which is basically public engagement and coordinating events and doing different kinds of fundraising initiatives and getting the community involved with PATH. So PATH was established in 1984 with the mission to break the cycle of homelessness by equipping people with the tools they need to attain self-sufficiency. And this is our regional homeless center. So the concept of the regional homeless center is that we combine housing with the different kinds of supportive services that people need. You guys have all been to the mall before. Everyone goes shopping for all the different kinds of stores, and you can get everything all in one spot. So we have that same idea here, and we call it the PATH Mall, and this was built in 2002. And here people can access everything from case management to employment services to health care, actual health care, to legal services and benefits and pretty much everything that you can think of, and it's all in one spot. So that's really a big deal for people who don't have a car and don't have the money to pay for a bus. A new program called Safety Net Services, relatively new. It was established in November of 2009. And its role is to prevent homelessness. So it's part of actually the federal stimulus plan. It's called Homelessness Prevention and Rapid Rehousing. And we manage that program for several different areas in the greater Los Angeles County. So anyway, you don't have to be, nothing gets paid for. So all of our services are free. If you're homeless or you're at risk of becoming homeless, or if you're sleeping in your friend's garage and you can't find your own housing, there's a whole lot of different levels of homelessness, but anybody can use our services.
Awesome.
So this is Pathfinders here. This is our employment center. People can come in. Let's see, yeah, it's locked, but people can come in and do everything from using the computer so that they can check their email, and they can get their own voicemail so that employers can leave them messages, and they're not out of contact, which really makes a big deal for getting a job. We also offer professional clothes here, so people who are going for interviews are set. And we also have several different training programs. We do a property management training course. We connect people with different courses on construction-related, forklift driving, culinary arts. We have a customer service training and a number of different vocational trainings to help people. On top of that, we have a relationship with the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, so employers actually come on site and work with Pathfinders. When you come into the mall, the first step is coming in, checking with reception. Here at reception, people can access basic services, like if they need to come in and take a shower. We have the different kinds of hygiene items that they need, and they can take a shower anytime. They can also get mail here, and they can also use the phones, and those kinds of basic needs. The resource center is sort of like what you would consider a triage area for people. So they come in and they do an intake with one of our volunteers or staff. And what it is it's basically paperwork, so we can find out all the different kinds of issues that they're facing and work on them one by one, and we can connect them to the different resources within the mall and outside of the mall. We actually work with outside partners too. But that's where it starts. So everything's on a first come, first served basis. We see between 80 and 100 people every day in the mall. And it all starts here. So people have to, if they want to talk to a case manager, it all starts in here. You've got our case managers, and we have 3 to 4 different case managers, one's out on medical leave. But they from the time that a person comes in for the very first time, they work with that exact same case manager from start to finish. So that person knows their story, they can monitor their progress, ongoing. They work with all the different service providers. So say somebody comes in and they are working with a mental health professional and a substance abuse provider, which we have on site and I'll show you. Our case manager will manage the relationships with those people so we can coordinate services and monitor progress together. And it's a much more collaborative effort, and it's really a lot more effective than that person having to do it all on their own. This is Gateways. This is our mental health provider. The mall concept is actually a partnership of several different organizations. As I said, we only have about 65 staff members. There's no way we can do all that with just our own staff. And so what we do is we partner with other agencies. Gateways is its own mental health provider. They have a hospital and they have several different locations. And we provide this facility and the utilities and everything's rent free, and they provide the staff. So it makes it lets, instead of being like a jack of all trades, master of none, we let the experts be the experts, and we focus on everything here around a personal care center. It is a full service salon. We really consider it kind of like the heart and soul of the Path Mall, because something that you don't really, you take for granted, but human touch is something that these people haven't had in years sometimes. So the simple act of somebody helping clean you up and doing your hair or doing your makeup, it really just makes a huge difference. Yeah. And it also helps them, of course, get ready for job interviews and that kind of thing. But I think more importantly, it focuses on self-esteem and on restoring your sense of self-worth and dignity. So
this place is so great because you guys think about every aspect.
Their foundation does our substance abuse treatment, and they have on-site group meetings, on-site one-on-one counseling, and then referrals to like an ongoing program. But upstairs they actually do a 12-step, and it's really nice to have somebody who does that here. The Julie Summer Service Center is where, like I mentioned, the HPRP, the homelessness prevention, rapid rehousing, that's where all that takes place. In addition, there's Traveler's Aid in there, which actually helps people. Say you came, like your own story, you said you came out here to LA and kind of were on your own. If you could, say you became completely broke and ultimately lost your apartment and you didn't have the airfare to go back home, but your family said, we'll take you in, we can help you out, then Traveler's Aid helps you do that. So they'll provide bus or airfare or whatever it takes, and they can reconnect you with your family. They have doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, and they do all the basic needs. And they refer you to other people who can do more surgery and the more complex things that we couldn't do on site here. But basic, they do family planning, they do vaccinations, they do physicals, and they can treat chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease and those kinds of things they can monitor. So, let's see if this is open. In our community room, it actually says community court, and that's because we actually hold court here. So we work with the Los Angeles Superior Court, and a judge comes in and lawyers come in, and they help people address all the ongoing charges, they're called quality of life issues. So, drunk in public, trespassing, loitering, those kinds of things that, there's actually a lot of lawsuits for ticketing homeless people. It's an ongoing community issue where, cities just don't want people on the street. So
Like jaywalking and
right.
stuff like that?
Oh, jaywalking,
Yeah.
absolutely. But
Terrible about that.
they ticket them as kind of an excuse to try and get them off the street. But those tickets will turn into warrants for your arrest if you don't show up for a court date. And once you have a warrant on your record, it's almost impossible to get a job. You can't qualify for a lot of housing programs. So you have to get those taken care of somehow. And so community court, the idea behind it is that people can, by being enrolled in a program like PATH and showing that you're working towards, restoring your life, then those charges are completely dismissed and they are wiped from your record. So one central location is needed.
How did that
because people know to find you here.
Well, actually,
They word of mouth.
that's a great question. We have a street outreach team, which is kind of one of our signature programs. We've been in like all different, NPR, LA Times, New York Times. They've all done specials on our street outreach program. Because what it is, we actually have people who go out in a van and who go to the homeless individuals and say, they start to, they pass out food, they give them socks, and they start to talk to them and tell them about how they build like an ongoing relationship with them, so they come back. A lot of times people aren't quite ready to move or to take that first step because, to be honest, people have lost faith in the system a lot of times. They've gone to different places. Yeah, well, not only that, but some programs just don't work, or if a lot of programs are you have to come in and you can just come in for the night and then you have to leave the next morning. So sometimes they'd rather they've given up basically, and so the street outreach team rebuilds that trust and starts trying to get them to come into PATH, and we've had an amazing success with chronically homeless individuals.
Do you pay for a bus fare?
No,
or
we'll
to
take
get
them.
here? Oh,
No,
you'll
yeah,
put
or
them in
we'll
a
give them bus
van
tokens.
and
Yeah.
then-
So we make sure they can get here for sure. So they actually also have vehicular outreach now because more and more families are living in their cars because of foreclosures and evictions. So they actually go out and try to find people who are living in cars. So go this way. We'll come in. They do transitional housing with us. And then Path Ventures has the permanent affordable housing that they can live in, and there's no time limit. They can have ongoing case management and supportive services, but it's permanent. So, and that's really the key is that in LA, I can barely afford rent. So it's just so expensive that people can't do that. So building affordable housing is really the ultimate solution to homelessness. So this is for single women, and the idea is to at least give them some kind of privacy. They have their own space. It's not.
picture of this?
Yeah. This bed happens to be empty right now. We try to keep at least like one bed open in case of emergencies. Either our street outreach team will call us and say somebody needs housing tonight, or we have a good relationship with the LAPD and the sheriff's department, so they can actually say we have somebody who needs a bed right now, and we can take them. So. That's why we have an open bed. Because our job center downstairs has an 84% success rate, like within placing people within just a few months. So people work, and during the day they're expected to either be working or to be accessing the services downstairs and trying to find a job. Or, we have people with disabilities who obviously can't, but they're still addressing other issues. They're looking for housing, all that kind of stuff. This is considered a high barrier facility. So you have to be sober. You have to be looking for work or working, and you have to be addressing the different needs.
So do you take the children with your mothers?
Right here.
And then during the day, do the children stay?
The kids all go to school, and we
Oh,
work
okay.
with the LA School District to make sure that they're enrolled as soon as they get here. Because some of them have been bounced around and missed school, and so we actually have a specific counselor that we work with who helps them get enrolled in one of the schools nearby, arranges transportation, and everything like that. Let's think of that. Let's check over here. There might be an empty room I can show you. This is our Rhonda Fleming Family Center. Some people may have heard of Rhonda Fleming. She was an older actress. She's been one of our longest supporters. These are the living quarters. I think we talked about this before. So all these are full, but they're bunk beds, so moms can come with their kids, and they're interconnecting doors so that if a mom has more than one child, they're both together. So.
You have computers in the kitchen.
Yes, that's the learning center. We have different partnerships.
Is this not the
where
cutest
people actually
thing
come in and
you've ever
provide
seen right
tutoring.
here?
So yeah, this was built by Paramount Studios, and it gives kids a safe
Look how awesome.
So cool.
place to play.
Really? So nice.